Stream started. So, hey, Doc. How we doing?
Hi, welcome back, everyone, to Blood Bonds: A Tale of the Ashen Court.
Oh,
Last time, when you were all continuing your run through the Stern, the alchemical facility owned by the Orcs, you interrogated a few scientists. You stole some research notes. Stole some rather unusual objects, including seemingly a cursed reliquary box.
I think saved from a eruption is a better way of phrasing it.
Which we caused, but yes, you're correct.
Proceeded to find unsettling truths about this reality.
Semantics, semantics.
Fought a deadly encounter versus a half-completed golem. And then, yes, you decided to destroy the entire building with volcanic force. We're doing a new fireworks show for the entire the Blackwoods to see. With that, though, with one horse dead, one druid severely burnt, and everyone kind of exhausted, you decided now was an appropriate time to teleport back to Sorkai to take your rest and let your army handle it from there for the moment while you recuperate. After all, that's what you have an army for, to deal with all the mooks, right?
I need to do something.
Like, you guys take out the big leadership, they deal with the mooks. And so with that, the group has teleported back. The teleportation was mostly successful, as you arrived back in the tower, only feeling a mild wooziness from the transportation. And you head outside, and home sweet home. Sorkai is your beloved city, as it mostly always has been. You know, you exit the Mage's Tower. You still see that statue of Amina sitting in the plaza in front of the in the plaza, kind of in front of the tower.
Yes.
There's currently a busker there playing music as you go past.
Oh boy, a busker.
I throw a cold coin in there.
He does a bow before slightly changing the lyrics to kind of weave in a thank you to his song.
A gold. That's quite expenditure.
That is quite the tip.
If you haven't noticed, CL doesn't really go with money, you know. Big spender all the time. A lot of gambling habits.
I'm fairly sure you've just paid this guy's room and board for the next week. At minimum. But hey,
Might be a monthly salary, but you know.
But no one's going to turn out a week or two worth of rent.
No.
As you make your way back inside, very little has changed in Sorkai in the time you've been away, at least on the external level. The city seems to be operating as you'd very much expect. In your absence, the city has primarily been ruled by its local security force. Sir Torin, in particular, has kept strong control over the city's situation.
Martial law has been enacted ever since we left.
Martial law.
Just to be sure.
Torin is rather good at keeping control through the bureaucracy.
You know what they call martial law from where I'm from?
Uh-huh.
Law.
Yeah. Hashtag police state.
But it is so the situation as it is. You also, before you left, however, enacted some changes to start being processed while you're away. Notably, I believe you had assigned a certain person you met during the recent diplomatic efforts. A Lord Zion of the House of Referent, to act as your new royal advisor in place of Lord Reinhardt.
Yes, I remember.
He has now fully integrated into his new role. And will be able to serve you from this point onwards admirably. He has spent the last several weeks acquainting himself with all your different departments and figuring out what's actually going on here.
Very good.
And I believe Lord Reinhardt, you had actually given back control of his, or you'd given him his cousin's estate as to be his to manage, which has been quite the change for him. Though not an unbanked one. I'm going to go ahead and update my records accordingly to state that all this is finished. So I realized I was logged into my spreadsheet as my wrong Google account, so I couldn't actually change it. There we go. But yes, to my understanding, the court had some things they wish to do in some downtime here. What I'd say, kind of spent a few moments. All the paper pushers can take a moment to hold back once you all get back, of course. I understand that Ammonus, you've sort of lost you've lost your divine bond.
I still have it. I just need to re-establish it with a new fine steed. Yes.
Yes, you have. You did leave your horse to be exploded.
It died before that, in fact.
I mean, it's true. It died to the lava beforehand.
Yeah.
Magma forges are not a great place for a horse to be.
AoE is the bane of all cavaliers.
It really is. There are ways around it, but the horse doesn't have that much health in the long run.
No. The evasion on the horse.
They have slightly more hit points than a wizard, which says something.
But yeah, I'm gonna. I don't know if I need to spend an entire week or if I need to wait a week.
The rules say you must spend a week of downtime.
Then I will do that. Amonas will, he will. I imagine that to be like most of the time, probably finding a steed of enough power to contain the awesome might of glory. So
perhaps it is a week shopping in the provinces, looking for a good horse.
Yeah, he's going equestrian like all monarchs do,
Now, your own lands, admittedly, are not the best known for horse breeding.
No, but I can travel.
However, while your lands are not the best known for horse breeding, there is one exception among that. The new land you took control of Red Rock Valley, you called Lake before.
Oh yeah, my buddy, my bro.
Your new hunting buddy, in fact, he has actually quite the horse breeders within his land if you're interested in going.
Yeah, I'm going on such a bro trip. This is gonna be great.
And that will be what the king is up to for the next week, I suppose.
Yes.
The king goes on a road trip to go visit the Bros Nation.
Bros Nation, also royal hunting trip. I mean, what's better, right?
Royal hunting trip.
The county of fist bump. That's
the county of fist bump.
It's a royal decree is we're renaming it.
Yes. Gonna. Oh yeah, I saw. By the way, another thing downtime wise, we need to hire a bard or like an artist or something, because when I saw that portrait of King Charles, I got inspired and want that for Amonas.
Oh my lord!
The red one.
Red.
That is. I saw that. I was like, by God, that is like God Emperor of mankind right there. That's exactly what I need.
There are two approaches then. Would you like to fund a commission, or are you wanting to hire a retainer artist to be a permanent part of the court?
A retainer.
I'll think about that for a little bit, but
a retainer artist obviously costs upkeep every month, but
would increase glory, surely.
Grandeur and dread simultaneously,
I mean, just take Amanas's face on that painting, and it will fit perfectly in his court.
I mean,
Like,
I do feel like you could Photoshop Amnes on there quite well.
God.
Add a silver halo in the back.
Yes, please do. Anyone who's able to, I would love that.
I don't think I'm that good at Photoshop, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, that is a possibility the group can pursue. Just depends if you want to make it a one-off commission or if you want to make this a long-term thing.
I will think about it.
It's kind of tempting to do a long-term thing, honestly.
I know. Yeah. we need like the council chamber should have huge portraits of all of us. You know.
Yeah, Ceres is all on board for this.
Yeah.
To be an ancient artist, able to be fully funded by some noble who simply wants lots of cool art.
Yeah, and like when you're trying to find like a mate for Amulet, you need to send his portrait around. You know? And send that red portrait around.
Anyone who can.
He seems nice.
Seems really friendly. I don't.
Why is he standing in the rain of blood and fire? Well, you know.
Why
It's
do you
just
have
his
birds at the
aesthetic.
background?
Honestly, the slightly scarier part in my case is because there are like spells that let you see through your portrait and like the eyes start following to move the person.
Oh God, yeah.
Yes.
Kind of
yes.
horrifying developments.
You
Minor
can also
illusions
cast
on
like magic mouth on it, so it like says like famous Amulet quotes.
it.
I mean, now you've just got one of those like museum pieces. You walk in and it just talks to you.
Yeah.
Tells you about Amanas. But Amanas is saying
Exactly.
it. Like an
I mean,
autobiography
I'll be honest,
statue.
actually, I kind of like the idea of like a royal like
Yeah.
gallery having like
Yeah.
portraits of all the previous monarchs, all with
Yeah.
their like paintings speaking in their original
Oh
voice.
my
Don't
God.
don't we need some sort of artwork commemorating all of our greatest victories?
I mean, Ceres is on board entirely. You won't have any
like
arguments
a 16 chapel sort of thing, you know?
Absolutely.
It's like endless fresco going on.
That sounds like getting a retainer.
I know, right?
Yeah, you might just need a dedicated artist to do that with this
I
one.
think we're going to need a dedicated artist. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep that in mind for sure. But yes, for the first week, Amanas is off in Broland,
That
on
would be
a
fine.
royal hunting trip / equestrian shopping.
I can't remember who. I believe someone said they want to do some retraining during this time.
Yes, I want.
That's understood. I've already cleared that with you. CO is going to hit the books, as it were.
There's a big issue though.
Oh.
The issue of vampiric hunger.
Yes, this is in fact something. Your vampiric hunger has gotten stronger than it used to be.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned before you earlier, he's gonna try hire some hunters, get some animal blood, shoot them fresh animal blood, and use that for the week, or try to.
Right, Astarian.
You take.
I'm not Astarian.
You are brought a few animals from the Sorkai wilderness, possibly a fox or something similar to start with, and you extract the blood from it. I understand CO does not tend to like biting in directly so much. You like prefer extracting and drinking.
There's a medical procedure for that.
You take your extraction. Swirl the glass you filled up with it and take a drink. Immediately, can you make me a will save? You take one sip, and the vampiric side of you immediately throws it all up.
Oh boy.
That is not strong enough potency for it anymore. It finds it vile. And it leaves a very bad taste in your mouth.
Then next solution would be go to Vickers.
I suppose someone is getting a call at the Spymaster's tower.
I see.
Early in the night, for some reason. CL will knock on the door, well, because his height, whatever.
Vickers will wave his hand, and the door will slide open of its own accord from his telekinetic hand. He doesn't really look great. Turns out that taking on the blight in excessiveness doesn't really help. So most of the time he's kind of recovering in this week, but he's sitting at his desk doing more and more paperwork as a physician. And just looks up at CL as stands outside the door.
May I step in? If I'm not
You
bothering.
have my permission if you.
Thank you. Still comes in and sit across you. Do you want me to magically heal that away? Whatever is allaying you?
I wouldn't worry too much about it. Say, it'll go away by itself, I'm sure. As before, and if it gets worse, I'll let you.
Sure.
But what about you? You don't come often unless it's something you need.
Yeah. Yeah. I need two things. And first thing is simple. I want you to secure these vials somewhere safe for further identification, I guess. Research, whatever.
That
And
I can do.
she hands you 5 vials of vampiric blood.
Do I know what these are? Like.
Seal will tell you.
Okay.
With the suspicion that these might be vampiric blood gotten from the stern. Who knows if it's tainted? Who knows what condition it is? But, yeah.
Vickers will raise an eyebrow, but won't say much else, and nod. I'm sure he has some secret vault somewhere. Some cubbyhole that he can hide these in. And the second thing.
It's much more difficult than that. I need to eat, as people do constantly, but I cannot eat anyone in this kingdom or the Radiant Empire. So how do I get, proper sustenance?
Would this be like an underworld lore check, Dark? If there's a way to like source people's blood, like I'm sure they. I'm sure they do.
That is a possible approach you could take to the problem.
I see.
If
Like,
that is the route you want to approach.
We have well-filled dungeons, I believe.
Do we?
The problem with the dancer is they are still considered to be people of the realm.
Yeah.
Which is going against what I promised to Amanas. Which is something that I cannot broke.
You'd have to amend the agreement.
Yeah. Pray I do not. Further.
So I would need outsourced blood from the kingdom or the Radiant Empire, because I'm an for the whole Radiant Empire as far as I care.
Well, I can certainly put my feelers out for anyone who might be selling, but I feel like, and he kind of pauses for a minute and like actually looks at CL proper.
CL's complexion has gotten paler than before, which is an impressive statement to make.
I think the eyes are sort of more redder, and the necrotic features on the hand much deeper and darker.
Might I presume to say that your unique circumstances have progressed a bit?
Oh yeah, I cannot mean long consider to be in the land of the living. Well, alive, or whatever it is.
Well, that is unfortunate, but I'm sure there's something I can do to source this for you. Well, given that I'm sat here for a week, maybe that'll be what I'll do. It will probably take some time.
You need any cash? I can throw some of my cash at your way.
Oh, I'm sure I'll figure something out. I'll make sure I get you a good deal. Don't worry.
Sure.
You know, I'd offer you my own, but I don't think the blighted blood that I currently hold will be much good for you.
That's not the issue here. The issue is that you are a citizen under Amanas's rule. A promise that I cannot break.
Well, it is hard.
Nor I
see
want
that
to
you
break
take-
it. Just for your spy master knowledge, I do not want to break that rule. That rule is what keeps me alive, or that promise that is what keeps me alive. So, if you need to
Yes.
report to the king, I'm staying in the line where I'm limited today.
Not to worry, Ciel. I have personally. Let's just say that I will keep an eye on you. And now that I've said it, you know. So if you see me skulking about, it's probably me just making sure that you're, you know, doing what you should be doing, as I do with everyone else here.
Sure.
But I will try my best to solve this problem of yours, and I will let you know within the week if something comes back.
Thank you. You are one lifesaver for me. I shall go to study.
Well,
And
I haven't done
that's
anything
Ciel.
yet, so don't think.
Oh, I wouldn't be here without you.
Well,
Gives us 3 miles and leaves. Yeah. Other than that, I will be training for the week.
yeah, I guess I will look into this then. Dark.
You may devote your downtime, if you so wish, to trying to secure an external blood network.
I had nothing else in mind, so this is as good as any, I think.
Very well then. That covers 2 at once then. What of our grand diplomat?
Well, we'd sent off people for some wings, right? I don't even remember when that was.
You sent it off a short while before you went to conduct your diplomatic efforts.
Okay, that was a hot minute ago, right?
Chronologically, it's been a little more than a month at this point.
Alright. How's that gone?
Well, to your understanding, the individuals involved have been spotted heading back north again and should be here any day now.
Okay. Okay.
Hopefully with cargo in tow.
Because that would potentially influence what she's trying to do for the week. If there's anything for her. That's what she would want to sort of dedicate her time. She could always meet them along the way. Teleport.
If you would like to head out independently, I suppose that is an option.
I don't see why not. I can meet them in like a city or a town that they're approaching, right? I know roughly
Yes,
where they are.
Yes, you could meet them early if you wish. You could teleport down to Alcend and probably rendezvous them there.
Yeah, let's do that. Ceres will do that. Want to come back to focus on whatever the wings will require.
Okay. We watch as Ceres, you conduct your ritual as normal. You teleport using the way station of that is the mage's towers you have in your various provinces here.
Hmm.
Letting you teleport with ease and accuracy to Alcend. And you go to meet with your explorers you had sent out.
Ceres will take guards, though. You know, meat shields. She's not gonna. Oh. Muscle.
You arrive at a secluded part of one of the old administration buildings. And your guards assist with the transaction for you on your behalf, then.
Mm-hmm.
A rate has already been agreed with the individuals in question. And so they will pass the box across to your guards pass the payment across to them. Standard procedure.
Yeah.
You've hired adventurers, they get paid. Simple enough.
Yeah.
As presented before you is a large wooden crate that they have nailed shut. Your guards, at your request, can easily open it. Turns out your guards can easily use a crowbar. That's not particularly hard.
Hard for Ceres. She's not particularly strong.
Inside, you bear witness to a pair of beautifully feathered wings. Massive things folded over on themselves. One set of wings, a bright, a kind of bright golden hue, and the other one a very dark grey, almost black hue, almost like between like bright eagle feathers on one side and like almost raven feathers on the other. These wings, though, as you examine them, are huge. Each one a good 8 to 9 feet across. Magically preserved, and even as you gently touch them, tingling with power, though actually with your vision you can actively see this fact as well. You can see magical circuits running through them. These were once the wings of a very much living thing. Torn off, but then magically preserved. You aren't entirely sure what thing, at least off the top of your head, though you could spend some time trying to learn more.
I think for Ceres, mobility has been a thing that she very much needs. And being pretty much around, up and away, being difficult. So a pair of wings would be pretty cool to have. The only thing is how to, because there's some stuff in second edition.
In Howl of the Wild, there are rules for grafting.
Yeah,
And those will be the rules we will be using.
okay. I don't know how this works, but
Meld this horror onto my flesh.
oh, do it. Let's do it.
I mean, those rules, I remember, are in the new supplement.
Yep, which I have a copy of here.
Ah, me
Oh.
too. Right.
I do not. I don't know what this entails. At all.
I shall forge my flesh anew. Rise in blood.
Let me just find what section these are in.
Yeah, the index is not helpful because, like, I know.
Need,
It's page 96.
I believe we need to prepare an Aztec-like blood sacrifice every day for a full year.
Not quite.
For a full year? Oh, that's going to take so long.
We've already done that. We've killed thousands and thousands of birds.
Oh.
Like,
So
That's
as it
hardly a
turns
blood
out,
Yeah, that's the
sacrifice.
thing. The Crow Festival needs to come back. It's the only way.
That's the only way.
so to graft, you need to have someone who is at least an expert in medicine and also has appropriate pre-existing knowledge of doing procedures like this.
Oh,
We need a vivisectionist.
a vivisection.
Yes.
Interesting. Is that the...
Such an individual can attempt to graft the wings to you in a simple enough process, theoretically, in practice rather difficult.
Hmm.
Should they succeed, this will become a permanent invested item on you, similar to a magical tattoo that cannot be removed.
Mhm.
But then, therefore, granting you whatever the effect of the item is. Obviously, these are wings. You can take some guesses.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I guess Ceres needs to find someone competent. I guess we don't have anyone already in the court. Fit this
With
criteria.
medicine?
It's the
What's the
experience.
criteria?
Right?
Well, then they need to be both. They need to be both a experienced medic, but also have a grafting feat.
I don't have a crafting feat, no.
So I need to find... I mean, if anyone can find someone, it's probably... It will be a toss-up between Ceres and Vicus. And considering Ceres wants someone that she can
There's a
brew in
court
their
action for it, right?
Yeah,
Like
find
Artesia,
There is
someone.
also a court action where you can potentially send out feelers if you need to.
And I think Ceres will do that. She'll spend her week hunting down someone.
You'll use your diplomatic connections you built up to send out feelers.
Yeah, and she's built quite the network at this point.
My mad scientist wanted.
Mad scientist wanted. Graft wings on back.
Yeah, this is a very specialist skill. Not very many people are graft specialists.
No. But I'm sure. Ranger. The bear.
It's just not a common thing in these realms. It's not something the Empire has ever particularly specialized in. But you can begin the process of sending out feelers. Hopefully, someone knows the answer.
Hopefully.
Yeah, among your own court, unfortunately, you don't have anyone unless you want to try trusting the toxicologist to try.
oh no.
She might be the
Weirdly,
best suited
actually,
we
I
have.
kind of, I would kind of trust her on it. You know, we've given her a pretty good life, all things considered. We took her out of our hole and gave her free reign.
Yeah, she's the closest thing you've probably got to someone who works in these kind of more unusual sciences.
Okay,
She's not a full specialist though, so results will vary.
all right.
Like, she does have a specialty. Her specialty is poison.
Yeah, I'm just kind of wondering if, like, maybe instead of spending a week looking for someone, could Ceres take her aside and spend a week kind of training with, like, her, like, researching
You could
with
try
her?
to train someone up to have this as an ability, though you would still need to give them. You would still need training materials for them. They have to learn from somewhere.
Yeah, I suppose.
In theory, they could just try practicing on individuals. Your half-listeners may not object if you wanted to give them vivisection candidates.
Troubles with that. All right, we'll stick with the let's look for someone then. Ceres doesn't want to artificially increase the dread.
Why not? It seems last time I checked, you guys said it wasn't high enough.
No, artificially wants it to be. He wants it to be a natural increase in dread.
Think if the court diplomat went like, "Hey, I need to have someone sew some people together for practice to give me wings," like that would be genuine dread.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, it is, but there's a
I
different
think this is
route
what the
she can
diplomat is up
take.
to.
It's a different route she can take that matters. So she'll go with the let's not rip people apart route, just for the sake of PR.
In which case, you will have to do the more manual method of waiting then, and
Yeah, that's fine.
try to send out feelers looking for someone who does this sort of thing.
We've waited this long.
You can start the process, which leaves then our wonderful court druid.
I think for Isaac, it's gonna be pretty simple. He will spend the week to rest and recuperate from his ordeal. He almost failed trying to blow that place up, which worries him because he's gotta get better at just defending nature really and
You are also
using
heavily
nature.
burnt at the moment, so taking rest is not an unreasonable approach.
Yeah, like he will rest, recuperate, reflect. Probably not be seen in Sokai itself for a while. Choosing to roam outside for a bit. The contemplative silence of nature.
You can always, if needed, visit your druidic grove you've been working on.
Oh, I don't think he's in the mood though. Like he needs some roaming.
Very, very well. That, as it turns out, the province of Sorkai has a lot of undeveloped terrain to it still. So there's a lot of places you can just go with no people in sight.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The Highlands is a very undeveloped province at the moment, understandably because it's so cold that it's hard to develop. So, maybe the cold will be good for your burns.
That is the hope. Yes.
Understood. If you haven't done so already, everyone may take a long rest. In Vickers' case, I've added onto your sheet, but you are currently afflicted by the blight.
Yes.
Feel free to remove any other status conditions you currently have, however. So in your case, you won't be able to fully remove drained because I think that's coming from blight to now.
Trying to get haste off me, but there we go. Aha.
Yeah, you're all able to take a nice, relaxing kind of rest here. And get on with your various business. We'll kind of quickly montage through the eye for all these answers here. For His Majesty, you have spent several days on a bromantic hunting trip.
Oh yes.
Turns out he has some wonderful catches in his land. Some large beasts that even put up a bit of a struggle for you.
Very nice.
And you get to peruse his stables and find a suitable horse that, yes, this one is fitting of Glory's visage.
Much obliged. Much obliged.
He's more than happy to offer that as your gift for coming to for coming down.
The Amanas is of course much gratified, and at the end of the week, heartily invites him to come visit Sorakai at some point. He has a standing invitation.
He thanks you very much for it.
And that night, Amanas will perform the necessary rituals, paint holy sigils on the horse, dab its head in holy unguents and whatnot, and then invoke the spirit of glory coming from Mount Celestia or where it resides.
I was
to inhabit
I was
all.
about to say, what is the process though? Okay, interesting.
Yep. And then probably swearing an oath to, as its namesake, bring glory on the battlefield on top the beast. Together they shall work for the betterment of the kingdom.
As you complete this, you can see the celestial light gather. As despite it being nighttime when you're performing this, your window pane lights up as if it was daytime outside. As you feel the light kind of rush in, enveloping the steed before you, its features shifting and changing as it is imbued with, well, the spirit of your guardian angel.
Yes.
So they do give you a look of mild frustration at being exploded.
Amanas will put a hand on the horse's forehead and welcome back, old friend. I am sorry for last time. Let's try to do better, shall we?
They will accept your apology.
Then back up to Sorkai we go.
Easy enough. For our spy master, please roll an underworld lore check, please.
Sure thing.
If you have any feats you might think are appropriate, please let me know.
Let's see. Well, there is this one.
Won't be a recall knowledge so much in this case.
Oh, fair.
It'll be more working your profession. So.
You sure I don't have anything else then?
I had one more thing, by the way.
Go please, go ahead.
I'm going to buy a magical item for glory on the way back home. An alacritus horseshoe to increase his movement speed by 5.
What is the item level on that?
Level 7.
Yes, that is fine. You'll be able to buy that on your way back.
Yep.
As it turns out, Vicus, securing what you're needed here is actually more difficult than you anticipated. Partly because, well, blood from someone who's not part of the Empire is a rather difficult thing to fully track down. Like, you're looking for like a very specific vintage, and you're having to try and make sure it's not spoiled in any way, but like, yeah, that no one's just lying about where it's coming from for you. That's actually a rather difficult task. You can get blood, no questions asked, but you can't necessarily validate where it's come from.
Okay.
Or has not come from.
Oh, that's not good.
It also somewhat brings up the definition of what is the Empire these days with a small civil war going on.
It's true. What are the bounds of the oath? How
That is something which perhaps you are not the most qualified to answer.
Yeah.
I made the promise with King Amonis that I cannot bring blood from his kingdom's people. And still would prefer that to be the Radiant Empire, because Amonis is the king of the Radiant Empire for her.
Unfortunately, right now, what is the Radiant Empire is rather in dispute.
But yes, but still.
It might be disputed, but there's still a truth. God's damn it! Amanas rules everything.
The question is how much of this land does Amonis view as the Empire? Is it the whole continent?
Yes, of course it is. No, it's he regards his realm Like the empire, he's owed that, but he realizes he does not rule, and so he wouldn't. He counts whatever we have in the ascendancy as his realm.
In that case, if it's merely the ascendancy being the specification, it's not an easy thing anyway, trying to source blood. But you can fit, though it's a bit marked up in price, you can get some shipments of blood from outside the ascendancy's borders.
Okay.
Delivered, no questions asked by your contacts on the more naval criminal side, but dropped off at your northern port.
How much are we talking?
Let me have a look here. Each draught of the blood is currently being marked at 6 gold a vial.
All right. In terms of storage, like how indefinite can they be stored for?
They are preserved well enough that these vials will last probably for at least a month,
Okay.
maybe
How
2.
much? How much sealed? Like a day?
Are you okay with me saying it, Isa?
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's pretty much daily. Oh,
Well, technically, it's every other day she currently needs one to not suffer any penalties.
Okay, but with the potentiality that could increase as well.
Yeah.
So
It's every 2 days unless something happens that causes her vampiric weaknesses to trigger.
right. Every 2 days, and then the last for a month. So yeah, 50. Okay, I mean,
I can
yeah.
pay for it.
I mean, yeah, it's not that expensive. If you're just getting 15, 90 gold or something for 15 vials.
Yeah,
Which should
90
last
gold.
you the month every second day. And that's like the extent of their shelf life, so to speak. So 90 gold a month, I guess, for your condition.
If you're happy with that transaction, the sailors of the Blue Fleet will happily trade the creature to you.
Yeah, I'll pay the first one. With the.
Oh, I can pay. I can pay.
I know you can, but Vickers will pay the first one. Just to make sure, because the
Are you
last
wanting
thing
this to be a standing order with the Blue Fleet to deliver a
Yeah.
crate every so often?
Yes. Unless otherwise instructed, this would like to be a partnership in the future.
I wonder if,
Very well.
honestly, it might be better in the future just to a rotation of, like, bring in some, I guess, people. Easier to store blood if the person isn't alive, right? But then I suppose we're going into slavery. But then we don't know how ethically this blood is being extracted.
Given Vickers is not confident on how ethically this was sourced. All he knows is it's like he's fairly sure it was not from within the bounds of Alnus's claims currently.
Yeah.
Mm.
For the purposes of it has been sourced, but this is as far as Vicus is concerned, it skirts the edges of his own gray that he's willing to put up with it for.
As it stands, the
having a
pirates have
vampire.
obtained blood somehow for you.
Yeah. Fine. People bleed every day and waste it. Different. Yeah, I paid 90 gold. 15 vials. For the
Yeah, we
one.
can add that to our inventory then.
Yeah.
I fired it.
Or you can add it to the party stash if you want to store them home for some reason.
Yeah.
Add it to the master. I already have one of ours, so I'm just gonna add it.
Yeah, works out.
Understood.
I added the vampire blood to the stash.
I think I'll just keep it there, but I'll make a note myself that I am currently have it somewhere safe.
You have to have 5 in safe.
Halldamir,
Hmm.
you are attempting to use your network to find someone capable of grafting.
Indeed.
Please roll me a check to gather information. This is typically through diplomacy, though you may attempt other skill checks if you think appropriate.
I am going to play. What kind of check? Sorry, did you say? The recall knowledge. So gather information.
To gather information.
Okay, just checking.
Alternatively, you may roll medicine to attempt this.
No, I think I'll diplomacy.
You do not trust your own medical knowledge on the subject.
Absolutely not. Ferris knows nothing about the humanoid body.
You send out feelers far and wide. This is not a topic people are frequently skilled. As it turns out, a lot of people don't find the idea of grafting other creatures' parts to them particularly appealing.
Understand.
So it takes you a while to get any good starting point here. Two potential options give themselves to you as you do your research and you're asking around. You have heard stories of a grafter who apparently works in the more underground networks. Usually more of Vicus's sort of area of expertise. Who apparently has been known to give such augmentations to various criminal sorts in return for untraceable coin or goods. As well as potentially even changing someone's entire identity if they so wanted their face changed. The information seems credible, though you wouldn't know how to contact them yourself, but it seems like they would probably know how to do this.
Okay.
The other route you hear is while asking around, especially within your own court here, is actually a rather boisterous story from Lord Zion himself. Recalling that in his old days, when he was fighting down in the summer woods to the south, the summer jungles, that he recalls seeing several of the blood elves who had various animal features similarly on them, claws, tails, and similar things. But not that by magic. They were still there after they killed those elves. It seems it's a practice which the Blood Elves have been practicing over time. Those are the two that kind of come to the surface for you. his kind of first section of gathering information. It's possible there may be more individuals out there, but it just may take more time to keep looking. Rather unusual subject matter.
That's fine.
But it gives you 2 possible avenues.
Honestly, I tempted just to lean on the avenue of the underground. Because the Blood Elf is great, probably something into. Wants to look into the Blood Elves anyway, but I just get the feeling that that might involve a whole trip down to south that we don't really have time for in the books. So probably the underground grafter to go. And I know a certain person really in tune with the underground. Be able to help.
If you wish, it may be possible to have Vickers look for the face sculptor for you.
If Vickers wouldn't so much.
Of course not.
Because you are aware of the stories of the face sculptor.
I see.
You know they're more than just stories. Rather confirmably, you know of individuals who have sought them out and definitely come back as completely changed people.
All right.
Actually, I realize Ceres would have also discovered one other possible avenue, though it's perhaps also not an easy one.
Mm-hmm.
Various stories of the Drow doing similar technique.
You're looking into the Drow, yeah.
You do not. Unfortunately, the Empire's done a good job at squashing down the Drow, so unless you wanted to go to Clan Darkbane and find out where the last Drow sightings were.
Yeah, exactly. That is on my radar. I have a clan Darkbane. So something about demons? But yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think underground face changer is probably the best option. Which is such a weird sentence I never thought I'd be saying in this campaign.
I can try my best to take a look.
Okay, and also you can also get cosmetic surgery at the same time if you're so inclined.
Yeah, if you want to look like someone else entirely.
I think Ceres is so self-absorbed she was insulted by such insinuation. Even the mere mention of it. Gasp.
But it turns out there are not much in the way of cosmetic surgeons in the Radiant Empire.
Shocker.
Already found this. You could make cosmetic surgery the new norm.
You know, think about it.
But so be it.
Increase my charisma even
CL?
more somehow.
So of course your retraining goes just fine. No issues.
True. I gave myself dark vision because that I should have. There's some type of things, but yeah.
Yeah, we already discussed your changes, so this was nothing to be unexpected here. And as for our wonderful druid, you do successfully manage to rest up, spending some time to treat those heavy burns. And you do feel somewhat better after having done so.
Excellent.
Go ahead and give yourself an extra go ahead and give yourself an extra hero point for the session because Isaac is well rested.
Right.
You weren't busy running around, you were just getting to relax. Look, there's something to be said about having rested staff members.
Yeah. It's important to take lessons from the stray cat.
Ah yes, the masters of all the hero points. The group finishing all of your tasks. Know that all of you have a mound of paperwork ahead of you soon. Your various duties building up in your absence. But there is various things going on, and some people who would like the attention of the court, if you're so willing to give it.
Sure.
Notably on some of the agenda, your new military academy has finished construction and needs its grand opening. As you did commission that several months back.
Oh yes.
A place to train up new soldiers, as well as training up better training commanders to work in it.
Yes, yes.
Not a bad thing when you're considering the fact that you're sending more and more people to war.
Yeah. No, excellent. Absolutely. Amanas will, of course, attend the sermon.
Is Amanus so inclined to wanting to do one of those ribbon cuttings?
Yeah, of course. And Torin is there, and let me see, who else? I mean, honestly, like Estinian should probably be there. He's a military commander, technically.
Arkland should be Squire.
I mean, Arkland is there. Yeah, of course. He's
Yes,
always
of course.
there. And I need to bring up the Google Doc.
Make sure there's no rabble rousers. Or...
Doc is a tiny bit out of date, but that's fine. I'll be updating this shortly.
Sir, what's his name? God.
So Gillian McFrey?
Yes, Gillian. He's the military commander. He should be there.
Yes, he is the Grand Marshal military. He was the one person defaultly there if no one else went.
Yeah, no, but basically everyone in the military block, together with Amanas, will be there.
Understood. Captain Estinian is also quite keen to be there, as he can train up new captains at the academy as well.
Abbas.
He doesn't have very many boats still, but he can train up, new captains.
It's fine.
Would you like to add any spectacle to this particular opening?
A little bit of spectacle, maybe.
You, for example, could arrange a small military procession during it.
Oh yeah. Decorated veterans from the taking of Alcen.
Understood.
A dramatic reenactment of us dumping the zombie corpse of his daughter into his room.
It's their glorious occasion.
Yes, fantastic.
And it does stir some morale in the people, perhaps. If also mild dread in your reenactments. As you open up your new academy here. Improving the quality of all the soldiers that will now be fielded.
Yes.
Other business that's relevant to the court. Under the security branch's purview, there has been a newer branch of the Adventuring Society that has opened in Sorkai. An official place for plucky adventurers to meet and be officially paid for work.
We have one of those notice boards and everything.
They very much do. There is a notice board out in the main plaza where jobs can be posted, and they have a small office where adventurers can go to discuss the bounties, hand them in, discuss any issues.
Everything is officially taxed, of course.
Of course, it is part of making it an official branch. There is taxation to it.
Yes, very good.
A small amount of the reward money is automatically deducted from the actual reward account listed,
Mm-hmm.
and is given to the crown.
It's like auction house prices, you know.
I'm actually going to take you over to this map, which we haven't been on in a while. Let that load, however long it will take. But yes, with the founding of the new Adventuring House, obviously, adventurers will be expected to be showing up in Sorkai more often. How much free rein are you giving the adventurers here? How much are you encouraging people to go out and conquer ruins and solve these issues? Are you wanting them to be fairly... Are you wanting everything to be rather, like, restricted and has to be very much cleared behind your own people first? Are you wanting more freedom and more ability for them to just go out and... whatever jobs come up? How many restrictions are you wanting to put on adventurers coming into your fair city? And also, where in the city would you like to put the HQ? Because you could basically pick any building and basically just say, we're making that the HQ now. Anyway, that's not already allocated within it, to something.
Yeah,
Personally,
about doing that.
personally, I think not restricting them, but maybe putting like tariffs on things. So like magical item collected, maybe there's like a discoverer's fee or something like that, like we gave them the information that brought them to these magical items, and so they have to pay like a fee for each one depending on the power level.
Maybe we can do it like I think something with like fairly free is pretty good, but some rules in place because we don't want them to plunder our land. We want them to help.
I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like
So-
just do the whole old-timey register with the Adventurers Guild if you want to do anything here, and then you
Yeah,
have
you-
certain tiers of, privileges that you get access to in good standing.
Yeah, we
Like,
have
if you just show up, you're not going to be able to do everything you want to do.
no. You have to grind some rep with the city here
Exactly.
to get like
Yeah.
to get the
We
to
are
get
now
into the good
reputation.
graces.
Yeah,
Gotta
exactly.
do
Exactly.
dailies at least.
No. There's wolves out there that need to be hunted and whatnot. And I think
10
like
Thunder
wolf
rats.
pelts.
like the kingdom has like a first refusal on medical items brought back or other forms of artifacts or historical things brought back from the wilds
Yeah.
because we don't want them to.
They pay us to identify the items. That's what we.
And
Yeah, and the state can be like, this is an item that we deem to be like a cultural artifact belonging to Sorakai, and we'll give you a nominal fee as a reward. Or, like, if it's a medical item over a certain power level, we can offer to buy
Substitution.
it, and that might give us like a small way to gain medical items up here in Sorakai, so we don't need to teleport away to get.
Yes, if you want to go with that approach, it's possible that you'll get a small stockpile of magic items flowing through your market more commonly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not interested in buying like a +1 sword or anything, but if anything above level 12 comes through, we probably want to be like, what is that?
Yeah.
You can certainly go with a basically a magic item buying program, in which case the guild will try to purchase any items of interest, and those will then appear on your monthly report as, hey, you could potentially acquire these.
Yeah.
I think, just like not restricted, but registration. Pretty fair.
Out of curiosity, what is the penalty to not being registered as a thing? Is it simply not access to the guild's benefits, or is it going to make it a sanction against someone who's
cannot exit the guild's access the guild's privileges, and among those privileges are things like cheaper fare at a tavern. Maybe you get some it's like basically a membership card that you can show around the city to get like a 5% heroes discount or something like that.
I think also like magic.
Like idea, you got student discount, but it's for adventure.
I also think like if they've not registered and they go and plunder something and find an artifact, like then they're liable to like sanctions, items removed, fines, or even time in the mines. Like,
the illegal exportation of cultural artifacts.
Exactly.
If that becomes a thing, then we're gonna clamp down on this. We don't.
Like we don't allow that to happen. But otherwise, just register. It's fine. There's no reason not to, really.
The mission is to help the city, help its people, and explore the land. That is the charter of the Adventurers Guild.
Yeah.
Also, no spellcasting in the city.
Oh, we're doing a Red Wizards of it.
Yep, we're going
No
full
spellcasting
Athkatla.
at all inside the city.
Nope, full Athkatla on this shit. If you are a spellcaster and wish to spellcast in the city, then you need to apply for a
You need to
spellcasting
register
permit.
yourself. You need license, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, a
you need a
magical
spellcasting license
license.
within the city. Yeah.
That seemed interesting.
Outside the city we don't care, but inside the city you do
I'm just
not
saying we're
cast
going
any
back.
spells.
I'm just saying how we're going back to the sanctioned mages by the church again.
Yeah.
It does. Ceres isn't a huge fan of it, but he sees the point being made.
But it's not sanctioned by religion, it's just sanctioned by normal.
I mean, the point
So-
is, it was being sanctioned by a government agency effectively.
Yeah.
I will not have fireballs cast on my fair streets.
I think, what about limiting it to anything above cantrip?
That's fair, I think. It's not like you could do much with a cantrip.
But cantrips like automatically upcast and can still do vast damage.
I mean, like,
The-
not
the-
upcasted.
I think the idea is they're not going to do vast property damage or otherwise greatly manipulate.
All right, fine,
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Cantrips are okay.
Cantrip level, anything
But-
above would require a license.
You need a license, yep, and it is a tiered license for the rank of spell you wish to cast.
Ceres can begrudgingly accept this level of sanction, only
You
because
see, the administration officers have got have got more
of-
people.
Of course, no offensive spells whatsoever. And if we catch you casting an enchantment, oh boy, you're in trouble. Enchantments are strictly forbidden,
To the
no matter
mines.
the license. Yeah, like if someone goes around casting enchantments, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I'm sorry, CL. You are under arrest for your heroism.
Oh, she
I was
has a
gonna say
license.
like bless, and then everyone just kills you.
Oh, okay, fine.
Damn.
Enchantments as per this following list. And that is just a list of basically anything that has with mind control to do.
Anything with the mental trait, along with in enchantment, along with
And any form of dominate or charm, mind control. No.
Also, Dark, you're asking where to put it. Right beside the tavern, obviously, is the best.
Yeah,
place.
'cause you've got the
Yeah,
you've got the
like-
tavern. Oh, you've got the tavern up here. I think you can see the exclamation marks.
Yeah, like
I would
here.
put it here or there.
Yeah,
It's
Put it
near
beside-
the shopping
don't put it
area.
beside
It's
the
near the
water, 'cause people fall in.
administration.
I like it here because it's near the central plaza, which I imagine will most people flow through. And there's like if we have like a little a big bounty board or something here, everyone will see it.
It's also right beside the exit and entrance, so
Yeah.
people will like they walk in and they'll see it straight away. So
And also the guards from the towers at the entrance can look
keep
over
an eye
and
on shit.
keep an
yeah.
eye on it a little bit. Like
Very well. That will be the Adventuring Guild building from now on, right across from the embassy.
yes.
Yeah, maybe the Shadow Shield Embassy can, instill some dour order on them.
yes.
Just all the dwarves staring at them like,
I mean, also, it's not a coincidence that the Shadow Shield Embassy is across from your bar,
yeah.
or from your largest bar, I should say.
I mean, maybe they probably brew something in the basement in that embassy.
Oh, the embassy does have exports.
Yeah. See.
The exports are mostly alcohol, yeah.
Yeah. Of course. But yeah.
Understood. The Adventuring Guild is formally founded then,
Hooray!
and
Uh,
at least some individuals that you're already aware of to take some interest in it already. Including,
Yeah.
for example, the halfling Luck Wilford, and also the heiress to the Wood Elf tribe also takes interest immediately. Not surprised, you've seen them both go out and do some adventure-like things before.
so either Dancer or CL will hang to all PC parties the magical license, and the adventure license for highest degree. But you are given the card.
I love the idea, like just like a lot of things in the UK, it's like says on the back like on the behalf of His Majesty, and it's just got
Yeah.
and then it's still issued to Amonis.
Yeah,
For
it's
His
like the
Majesty.
royal seal.
But it's just like there's basically like an imprint, like there's an imprint like representing you on there. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, but it's still it's issued to you anyway. Though, so
This hero is by royal appointment.
such can certainly be arranged. It's a lot more paperwork, but I don't think, given the way your city's been set up, they're going to complain.
No, I think it's a fair. Like, we need to protect the city from rampaging maniacs, and we need to challenge their energy out of the city. So if we make the city like, don't cast spells in here, cast them out there, and hopefully that will help. Cast it out there.
Hopefully.
Convenient enough, fitting with the same concept, by the way. One of the edicts you had put in before was to try and curb crime in the provinces, was to outlaw the rampant magical dueling going on in
Yeah.
down in Altenstar, which I
Yeah.
think, taking from this, a magical license system is also going to be employed there.
Yeah.
Of course, all on the behalf of His Majesty.
Yes. And for the good of the people in the realm.
Well, that is certainly an improvement onto here, and hopefully it will soon bear fruit. If nothing else, you now have the ability to send adventurers to deal with any problems that come up if you are so inclined.
That's fun.
Can be helpful if a problem comes up and you're just like, we can't be able to deal with that. Okay. At this point, Ceres, you received some updates, however, from your information network. Your series of diplomats and couriers throughout the realm.
Yeah.
These summer months are becoming very rough as a whole for much of what was formerly Imperial Celestial. With the recent upset in political power and the trade embargoes that the Duchess placed among much of the land, the Empire is very much seemingly going into a bit of an economic crisis right now. Even alone, prices of a loaf of bread having gone up threefold.
Oh, not the bread.
As no one was quite expecting the degree of, well, exactly how much of the market the Duchess managed to take from her perspective. Especially with Cadesia and Clan Darkhold also pulling out.
I think I called it that if this happened, that there was going to be a economic collapse, and I'm guessing the remaining dukes are not happy.
That is an understatement. Your own realms have not been fully spared from this, though you are not suffering the same cataclysmic effects. Though certainly your citizenry have noticed prices rise in response to everywhere else having trouble. The knock-on effect in the market. But your prices have only risen a little bit compared to the extreme amounts elsewhere. The only places not particularly affected by it seems to be Silverswift, though to your understanding that may be largely the Duchess using her own money to force prices back down again, subsidizing things.
I was thinking, should we be doing that? Should we be subsidizing essentials? Keep those prices down, keep our population happy, keep us looking like the beacon of hope we want to appear. Beacon of strength, you know?
Can we afford it? We're not sitting on too much.
I just updated your treasury value, which is now at 278, where it should be.
Got plus 76 a month. So how much would it be to subsidize? Like the essentials, you know?
Not cheap.
No,
Trying to subsidize the essentials to push back through the current crisis and basically just make sure like your people aren't hit by this at all.
yeah.
Probably gonna cost about 45 build points a month.
Yeah.
See, here's my thinking.
Yeah.
Here's my thinking though, that I think that might be worth it for the simple fact that we can then turn to the populace of what's so far going to be Imperial Celestia, and we can say, look how the Empire crumbled under the false Emperor. Look at the king in his realm that is mostly ice, and how it flourishes. No. Bring back the true Emperor and see return to the glory that it should be. Make it into a PR effective, a propaganda run. It's pricey, but we need our people to be happy, especially with the fight against the Revenant Horde we've got going on. The people equal our army.
But we also need money to upgrade the army and whatnot.
Well, if you artificially assist people in that way, then you won't have that driving force of innovation that really gets people to adapt to things. It's just like in nature, really, this whole politics thing. It's really easy.
People don't evolve.
Sometimes you just have to let go and people might surprise you.
Mm.
I mean, we could go halfway, give it up, some benefits, but not all.
What's the current rise looking? If the Empire is looking at a 300% increase for a loaf of bread, or
Currently for you, prices have risen. The price of bread has probably gone up about 40% at the moment.
That's not
It's steep,
but
it's
steep.
nowhere near as bad as like the Empire's feeling. And it isn't projected you're going to get anywhere near as bad as the Empire, because the Empire just can't trade with a lot of the sea-bound nations at the moment.
And Silverswift is completely subsidized.
They are pretty much, though. In fact, the Empress was not the Empress. The Duchess was sitting on such a huge font of money,
not even mildly surprised by that.
and she has been planning this for who knows how long.
A 20% increase, though, is painful for the lowest. It's possible to handle for the whole nation. I wonder, like Isa says, a middle ground. Allow for an increase, but not drastic. Try and cap it.
At spending about 25 build points instead, you could slow the inflation rate.
Instead of putting us straight
Compromise
into...
are for cowards.
Ceres would be on the side of a full subsidization of the propaganda run.
I would be half or full. Or CL would be half or full.
Half seems reasonable to me. Help the ones in most need. Alleviate the worst of the suffering. And yeah.
We don't necessarily want people to get too complacent under it, so
Exactly,
be
that's my
half.
point.
Yeah.
It sounds like a majority half.
Understood. In which case, I'll remove 25 build points now and then 25 build points from your total income at the moment. There we go. It's now down to plus 51.
Still not too bad.
But at least if nothing else, you're going to slow the inflation rate. Which is probably for the best. Probably. Your Grand Treasurer will go through and begin the process of figuring out how to distribute the money you've set aside. Rochelle's not a big fan of doing these subsidies, but she understands that, letting the populace struggle is not great either. Okay. I'm going to quickly ask a dice roll of some people. Halldamir, on the behalf of the diplomatic branch, can you roll me a plus 41? Or plus 40, sorry.
40? Oh, 43? Well, the DC's 33 according to that, so there's still a crit, right?
Minus any other modifiers in place. Your diplomatic situation is remaining stable at the moment. There hasn't been, during your absence, any major issues. The nobility seem a little more scared than usual to spend their money. But that's about it, for the most part. Yeah, just a mild decrease in the nobility funding things. You're still receiving your tax revenue, so that's all that really matters for the Treasury's sake. Hey Valky, on the behalf of security, can you please roll me the plus 44?
Yep.
Turns out your security's been doing a pretty good job.
Yep.
Crime is currently at a record low at the moment, despite the increasing prices. It seems that, despite the need for it, very few are successfully pursuing crime as a valid career at the moment under the watch of Sir Torrin. And to your understanding, there have not been any major security concerns that have arisen.
That's good.
Your spies have heard rumors. Valky,
Yes.
this choice will go to you. What
Okay.
foreign realm have they heard rumors about?
gosh.
Or it can be internal rumors, but they mean you don't know if there's
Feel
anything
like-
internal to look at for.
I feel like I think Celestian Empire. I mean, what's going on there?
Understood.
It's always our concern.
Among the remaining nobility, there has been, it seems, quite a bit of discourse between them with, well, apparent infighting with certain dukes attempting to, well, consolidate their power by, from what you understood, internal wars between the duchies.
Oh.
Normally, this would be completely out of line, but the Empress is not in a great position right now to, well, her crown authority is not really high enough to stop it. Her position has been, is definitely doesn't seem to be waning at the moment. Currently, though, this infighting doesn't appear to be anything too major, just minor border skirmishes, old slights unanswered, but it's not a great sign.
No.
Deep, can you please roll me something for mystical? Plus 43?
And I can roll something. 55. That's pretty high. Is it high? That's a 12.
That is
I
fairly
take
high.
it back.
I mean, in fairness, you had your chart. You were only going to fail on a 1 here. Currently, that's fairly good. As your realm is managing quite well. So actually, I just realized the DC is actually not as high as it should be. It should be a bit higher at the moment. I'll adjust that DC a little bit, but that's still a pass. I know that's. So magically, things in your realm have been stable. There's been a few lingering issues where the old experiments down in Altenstar, notably with the tower manipulating the ley lines, has left some lingering effects, but it's nothing that your court has not been able to deal with in your absence. So, not a major concern there. There has been an increase in magic items flowing through your realm recently.
It seems purely positive.
You'd say so, yes. Magic items aren't anything particularly too special, but there's the increase in flows. I mean, can't really be a bad thing. It will be slightly easier this month if you're looking to purchase any specific magic item.
Mm.
And Jonas, for the grand roll of leadership, can you please roll me a plus 30?
Yes.
You also have a 1d6 bonus on it still. Here with His Majesty.
Plus a d6. A 5. So a 42.
Your realm is stable.
Hey.
There's no major issues at the moment. The nobles seem to be following your word. Your court of squires that you brought in, the various wards are being trained well. Everyone seems to be settling into the new status quo, including the slight rearrangements to who's in control of what part of the realm.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly fairly business as usual at the moment, which is perhaps the best place your realm could be. After all, you wouldn't particularly want things to get too out of hand.
I do not know.
There's been some mild growing pains, you understand. But that's just largely trying to catch up the fact you now have 3 new provinces that all need handling. Yeah, seems to be going fairly well. Plus, also has a visitor.
Who does?
Amonas. As returning again is Lady Sistine Grayscale.
Oh yeah. The fair
Great.
lady.
Yes, the fair lady who you had dinner with. She gave you some interesting information, flirted with you.
Yes.
She has returned, politely asking if she can have residence again in the emissary's quarters for coming few weeks while she stays.
Oh, of course, of course. He's welcome. We haven't really been pursuing those leads on the account of, shit going down in the West.
Oh no, we perfectly understand. I was actually riding my way here and I saw a rather large, to say the least, ball of fire over the horizon.
That's the sun.
I did not understand the sun is so low to the forest floor.
Oh, that. Well, you see. Yeah, we caused some volcano eruptions. Let me tell you more about it over dinner. As you know,
Locking
Um,
arm in arm with you, she'll happily accept that.
Ceres approved.
Amanas will do that very boorish man thing of talking mostly about himself and all the incredible wars he's been in.
Heroic he was.
Yeah, oh, it's so heroic.
Her war is not her primary subject. She does seem still quite interested in what you found there.
Oh, I'm sure.
And also, gracious for your company.
Oh, she's nice. She might be a spy. She might be good to have, moving forward. We need a liaison or someone to guide us once we start handling the Dragon Empire.
You need a liaison, and she have nothing else. She's been nice company for Amonis.
Yeah, she is nice.
And one of the few people not scared away by him. Odd experience for someone not to be immediately afraid of Amonis.
Both a good and bad thing. Simultaneous.
Though she definitely keeps a healthy respect for the fact that Amonis could probably cleave the head off anyone in the room. But yeah, you can have a healthy respect without being afraid. Yes, she has come to simply visit Sorkai again and experience more of the of your northern lands for the time being.
Oh yeah, she's welcome.
With that, though, brings one other matter that will need to be addressed. The Orcs' response to what you did. The Revenant Horde, as you understand, is not particularly the most keen on the fact that you just detonated, their primary research facility.
That could have been anyone. It was not.
I'm
Is that
sure no
true?
one is alive to tell who it was.
I mean, it's true they cannot confirm it was you personally, but they do see your troops going to, secure the region. The blame will still fall upon the ascendancy.
I'm fine with that.
The orcs have actually been extremely cautious, seemingly because of the events. Your reports coming in from Sir Gillian and your troops out in the field. The orcs have pulled back, heading back to heading deeper back and actually just giving up ground to your forces.
Hmm.
Mm.
Very sus.
Extra caution for our troops, I feel.
As obviously your forces have managed to claim the region around the stern to be yours. But yeah, they have pulled themselves kind of out of the region fully. They're not really fighting you for control now. Or it seems, at least. Though you want to advise your troops caution of what's going on then.
Yeah, do not take the bait. Send
Yeah.
out some scouts and whatnot, but we're not moving en masse into something that can get trapped.
Just caution. Don't take it as they're scared. Take it as it could be a ploy. Happy if it's not.
In which case, your troops will take a more cautious approach then. They won't immediately assault on the tail of their retreat. Do you all have a target in particular you want the military to focus on more? Out of curiosity. I'll reopen the Blackwood map for you.
Mm. I mean, my initial thought is the cathedral.
Need to see the map first.
Once it loads in.
Why did mine load? My internet's terrible.
Oh, you're in the same country as the GM. I think that might help.
Maybe.
Either
That
that,
you
your computer's still got all of this in its cache.
don't need to go through all the EU, checks and stuff.
Pay to win.
With my 6 megabytes down.
Oh yeah. Feel the power.
So far.
I'm glad to know that I'm not the only one running on Potato Net.
My singular copper connection.
It's a
No,
thin copper line.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely feel you because I am running on a single copper telephone line as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know the really annoying part about it is they installed fiber last year. If I changed ISP, I could have I think 1,000 down. I could get a gig internet.
That's fine.
But I can't change provider without paying a few £100 as a cancellation fee because I'm in contract.
Right.
So I have to wait until BT get the fucking permission to use fiber that's down.
Ugh.
Or wait until your contract's up.
Or wait until the contract's up. Yeah, bullshit.
In my case, I'm in the middle of just somewhere that like some of the adjacent towns have fiber. We don't.
This contracting stuff is bullshit. Did you know I bought new glasses just a few weeks ago? They were like, do you want to buy your glasses or do you want to rent your glasses from us? I was like,
What?
fuck
Fucking
the fuck
rent?
away. Yeah.
Why would you rent your glasses?
It's like a contract for a mobile phone, but for glasses.
The fuck?
Do they come with
No.
free replacements?
Yes, but
What?
each time you replace, the contract automatically renews for another 2 years.
Oh my.
I've been
So
so
you
much
sub-
trouble. I've been in so much trouble then.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you'd be like, oh well, you
I've been
it's-
permanent contract.
yeah, no, you would pay like 10,000 a year. Like it was something bizarre, and I was like, you know what? I prefer to just buy my glasses. Actually,
Yeah. There's some
Yeah, I
things
just
in
like-
this world that do not need these
the-
subscriptions.
the seller looked very disappointed. I didn't want to subscribe to their glasses.
And Mike is just like, oh no, I've broken my glasses. Excuse me, my opticians. You still have my prescription, right? Can you reproduce the exact same ones I had last time? Thank you.
I mean that is the thing he's trying to like. Well, if you subscribe, you can just if your glasses break or explode, you can just show up and we'll give you new ones immediately. I was like, well, that is very
Like,
tempting,
isn't
but
that,
it is.
Isn't that your job in the first place?
Yeah,
Like,
it's like I
Can't
can
I
already
just
go to you and
buy
ask you
one?
to reorder my old prescription, though. That's already a thing you can do.
Like, how many
Um,
glasses would you need to go through in a year? That worthwhile question.
I don't know, but quite a bit.
Well, the
Not
problem
as
with the
many as
contract-
you go through.
With the contract renewing every time you use it, that means that
Ever.
Yeah.
It's never worth it.
Yeah, you never get out of it.
You
'cause
never
you're
get out of
bound
it.
every time you change glasses, you automatically sign up for another 2 years on contract.
You're
so you never get
forever
out of it.
within. Yeah, you're forever paying them more than the glasses are worth.
Yeah. Exactly. Just slowly.
Yeah.
So I said no, thank you. I'll buy him. And yeah, he looked disappointed. I'm almost there. I'm at 99%. This is very exciting.
one thing doesn't want to load for you.
Back in map tool days when we loaded into Horn of Abaddon.
At least on that one, I could see a breakdown of all the files being sent.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love
but
that.
then Malakai's computer crashed.
I
Yeah.
mean, fair.
Didn't have enough RAM or whatever it was. There was
On the
some-
other hand,
something.
decorating that map was so fun.
Oh, that was the most fun in that campaign. Just joy.
I
Doing
spent
that.
ages drawing up that map,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
like in turn we all worked on it. It's great.
Yeah, it's great. And then Malakai was like, "This is actually way too big for my computer to load now because it's like the map is like a gig or something because you've like over-engineered it so much." We're like, damn it.
I mean, we could have fixed that problem, and I did offer it at the time, but he was like, no, just that.
I think we're very lucky that we had you along for the campaign ship because that tool broke so many times that I don't know, like
Yes, it did.
staff engineer sheep.
The Java wizard.
At the time, yeah, everyone made these fancy macros for their own stuff. I just
Oh, no,
stole from sheep.
I actually miss making those old macros. So fun.
Honestly,
well, something.
same.
I played in a 4E campaign last year that used Roll20, which that was a nightmare. But I did write some macros and whatnot there and got a little bit nostalgic for it.
I don't like doing
Nostalgic for
macros.
programming. Crazy.
These Roll20 is an awful place.
Mhm.
For 4E as well. And you're like, "Ugh, this is not the platform for 4E.
There are better ways to do 4E.
So much better ways.
Wasn't there like a map tools framework for?
Yes. And
Yes.
it worked really, really well.
It was really extravagant and complex, but it worked really well. Automatically calculated like hit points and reduced that. It was good stuff.
It was actually insanely good. It's one of the best ones I saw.
Yeah, that's why I was very excited when I saw it. I was like, man, this looks great.
My only sadness is that we did not get another Summer of Fun attached into the end of it.
Yeah, I ran out of time.
It
Ran
is
out
so
of
be the
time.
case.
Hmm.
So it's taking you a really long time to load that.
Yeah, I don't know about this one.
Do you want to try refreshing or?
I guess I could.
I'm here, so it's definitely you now.
Yeah, it's definitely me.
Oh yeah, 'cause everyone else's icons have moved across on my top bar. It's only you who didn't move.
If only you could pick
Yes.
up your microphone and walk. I'll keep computer. That's creepy.
No. Don't
Yeah,
be
we're just gonna hit echo
crazy.
of the two of them then.
That'd be crazy. How far away are desks from each other? Like.
2 meters?
I don't know why, but it's only recently started doing this. I don't know if it's like, I don't know what's happened, but the past like month previous it was fine, and now it's suddenly picking up, and my mic's freaking out. I don't know what's.
Hey, I'm through.
Hey.
But yes, with the capture of the stern, your troops are taking over the area very much around the crater. There's a lot of badlands, not a whole lot of actual resources there.
Yes.
Also now just a smoking crater of lava.
Hmm. What was the cathedral? Was there something terrible going on there?
To your understanding, the cathedral is being used as a major base of operations as well as as well as being a place for their troops to be largely stationed, especially to attack the northern realms such as Ferelda.
Ah,
It is also being used as a place where they are enchanting weapons.
alright. And the animal pit?
Karen's Cry seems to be a place that they are currently training large beasts of war. Though
Hmm.
you haven't managed to see too many of them up close, though your troops do report everything from large, oversized wolf-like creatures to even giant insects.
Well, I mean, if Bellwether Cathedral is where they staged their attacks on Ferelda, maybe we can coordinate something with Ferelda to be like, oh, Ferelda, if trick them by falling back, feigning retreat and giving up, and they will surge in over your borders, and then you hold them there for a bit, and we will take out the cathedral for you.
If my understanding of the Elder, they would probably be down for something like.
We can hope that the orcs take the bait, but since they're so aggressive, that seems likely.
And Ceres has been working on the diplomatic, like on her personal relationship with High Duke, so maybe she can even of the fidelity of the plan.
Mm-hmm. If we can't do that, then taking out the
It's
Chaos
something you could
Cry
definitely try
might be
to
better. I don't know.
arrange.
Yeah.
It would take a little bit of time to get their coordination together, but it's possible.
Hmm.
If that's something you were so interested in trying to organize.
It's just an idea.
I quite like it. Go for the cathedral and do something for Elder to take effort, basically. Joint
Knock
effort.
out leadership at the cathedral, have your troops move in, and then any orcs attacking Ferelda will be sandwiched between your troops and theirs.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Hammer and anvil, and maybe even just wipe out their army.
And it would leave the north fairly open for you to just march towards Bloodstone Fortress easier.
Mm. Could be decisive if done well. And Ferelda's been fighting these orcs for forever.
Yes.
It is also at this point that, as you're kind of in these strategic meetings, kind of planning this, that you are informed that visitors have shown up outside for you. That your military troops believe might be of importance for you to see. Though they regret to say the visitors may not be able to come inside to see.
Ah, it's the Frost Giants.
Not quite.
All right.
Interesting.
I guess we shall go out and have a look-see.
Ah, the fire giant.
Bernie
The
fire
fire
giants. No, yeah, I mean, Miss Lee, you have made friends with giants before. Amna's even made particularly good friends with some of them.
Yes.
That's one of my maps. It's being a bit weird. D- As you step outside, you come to realize why the guards did not believe that these visitors would be able to come inside. Standing before all of you,
Oh.
a pair of gleaming scaled dragons covered in bluish fins.
Hmm.
This Ceres doesn't exist anymore.
I suspect that these are the cousins we've been promised.
I would suspect as much. What color did you say they were?
It appears to be more like a bronze tone.
Hmm. Leans over to the dragon knowledge expert. What do we know about bronze?
What do I know
Oh
that's
about?
no,
pretty-
he's turned around.
Isaac's pretty excited.
Isaac is super excited.
Oh,
You are free to roll Arcana if you so
Absolutely.
wish to know more.
Ceres always wish to know more. What was it, blind or
Gonna
private? I don't remember
improvise.
which.
Recall knowledge is
Supposed
always
to be
private.
hidden technically.
Yeah.
Hmm?
It's a private.
Private.
No, it'll be blind on your
Blind,
option. It'll
yeah.
be,
Oh, okay.
it's fine.
Well, whatever.
Do bronze dragons. We're going a little second anachronistic because obviously dragons got changed in remaster, but often are found along coastlines, usually temperate coastlines, and have a strong mastery over water. These aquatic, good-aligned dragons often can exhale large breaths of electricity, which is particularly dangerous in their underwater environments, where they can often make it discharge in often unpredictable patterns upon their enemies. They are fairly skilled at the casting of magic, and are fairly dangerous creatures, all things said. These amphibious dragons are not something you'd particularly want to get into a fight with if you could help it. Though you could probably take on one of these things. You think you're not exactly sure how old these are.
I mean, this sounds good. You know, we need protection against our our beaches, and our navy needs some bolstering. They could probably do good work along the coastlines if they prefer that type of work. But I suppose a royal greeting is in order. As I might as well will step forward, and we'll basically tell them exactly that he suspects that these are the cousins the fair duchess has told him about, and what are their names, pray tell, and also welcome to the realm.
They both look down upon you and nod their heads. The one on your right, from your perspective, speaking up. I am Razor Kill of the Third Brood. And yes, we are here to honor covenants made as favor to pay back. We are to assist you in your squabbles with the green skins.
Very good.
This is my sister, Azuris. The other one will also then bow her head. She's got Rahal and Azuris. I take it you're the one in charge there, clad in metal and crowned as you are.
Amanas nods, gives the look over to Ceres that it's time.
Paris will rattle off the numerous titles that Amanas has. I would do them, but my British sword.
That's fine. We can all imagine it.
All 22 of them.
Mhm.
Men are so hubris. Sister, we are here to fulfill covenant. She grumbles and then just bows her head down slightly.
Great. Sassy dragons.
We have heard tales of your strengths, all of you. Our cousin speaks highly of all of you.
If it is strength that you are seeking or impressed by, you have certainly found it in prodigious amounts, I can assure you. We are gratified that you have joined our cause against the Greenskins. The menace is stubborn, although we have recently dealt a significant blow to their operations by blowing up their main research facility. The military campaign will continue apace, however, and your assistance will be much appreciated, giving us many tactical options and advantages we did not have before. For example, I am to understand that you can operate quite adeptly in watery environments. We wait for sort of a confirmation.
Zuris will bow her head. Yes. To us, we can breathe through the water as well, as easily as any of our kin may the air. Very few can outpace us.
That is good news then. There are at least one large body of water and rivers that some extra control over would be very helpful. We also believe there's some sort of. He looks over sort of to Isaac here for more of an in-depth explanation, perhaps, but he will say some sort of titanic abomination that is linked somehow to the prodigious amount of water that exists in there.
What? Yeah, that sounds about right. Something about a great old one. Monster from a distant realm that is trying to reform, something along those lines. It is a terrible business.
The orcs harvest the creature for power, we believe, and have succeeded in affecting some sort of self-undead state that makes them difficult to destroy. But if we have a way to scout and operate along the waterways with your assistance, that might give us some advantages.
They look between each other for a moment and nod. That we can certainly help achieve. Though, we have a possible suggestion.
Oh, by all means.
We flew over this place you squabble over, and we did bear witness to the lake, as well as the old tower jutting out of it. If we are to understand that these greenskins are manipulating the void for their own life, a sufficient force, well, I wonder how they would enjoy the taste of rivers of holy water.
Well, if that can be achieved, that might certainly be quite something.
Normally, this would be a difficult task. Indeed, very difficult. But given that there seems to be some form of magical amplifier already in the lake, it theoretically would be possible. Though such a location would need to be secure.
Well, I mean,
Theoretically, then, you're simply requiring a large quantity of silver to produce, and, well, sufficient magics.
we can certainly bring them to the map room or bring the map out here so they can like look over, see if they can spot any such promising location.
So they already have an idea of how it could be achieved. Main thing would be getting that large quantity of silver and priests safely into the tower.
Priests, we don't have too many of those, but we can shake some up probably.
I mean, they don't necessarily have to be clerics of your faith.
It's true.
You do have both the Skaldi shamans, or in theory, the newfound cult that's been building to the Crimson Lady of the Crimson Flame.
I know maybe this is time for like an ecumenical sort of approach. You know, bring everyone we have. All right. All right. Well,
If such a creature is belying the lake, though, you may need our assistance in helping actually get to the tower.
yes.
The two look among themselves. If such interests you, we could make this our commitment to you. we will find you passage, no matter what that creature is.
All right.
You and your whatever congregation of the divines you can create. Though if we are occupied, you may need to clear out the tower yourself.
We are pretty good at clearing out towers. This shouldn't be a problem.
They look among your allies standing around.
It's a minute gone by.
What was that?
Has a minute gone by?
Yes.
Parasite on the racial. Tell me about yourself.
You can. Other than being able to tell that the dragon is quite powerful, unfortunately, you aren't able to quite get any useful information out of them.
Okay.
Does anyone else have any particular comments at the moment?
Well, yes, now that the official business has mostly concluded, looks like I do have an inquiry of a more personal nature. How do I phrase this? I have questions.
Oh no.
Azuris lowers her head down very close to you. Questions of what kind?
Well, I believe that you're kinda in a fairly unique position in that you exist in sort of an in-between place as far as nature and, well, civilization, as some would call it, is considered. I mean, you speak. You're... What even is civilization? You were sent by someone who very much engages in all the politics and whatnot, and are related, and I feel like we're very similar in that way, and I have questions about your experiences. These questions might seem somewhat incoherent, but it could make more sense if we had some more time together rather than just this brief meeting here.
We are in no rush. I assume it would take your people to gather the holy men requested. We will find a place nearby to make our holding for the moment. If you wish to ask us questions, you are free to join us.
Excellent. Very good.
They seem curious. Interesting smirk on Azuris' face looking at you, wondering what this is going to be about. But this would be it. Razio looks over. If you are satisfied with this as a plan, I will begin to draft writings for your priests so they better understand how we will perform such a miracle. The
Very
almost
well.
mockingly.
Proceed.
I saw a nice lake north of here, sister. We will take hold there. as the two of them will take flight then. There is minor noises of distress from the city outside. Apparently they were not expecting a pair of dragons to simply land inside the palace. So be it. As you are left here to consider the offer that you have been given. With that, though, Sheep, is that something you want to discuss between sessions? Because you've got a myriad of questions, or is this something what Isaac just wants to do personally? You don't necessarily need to roleplay out.
It's mainly something Isaac just wants to do.
Okay.
I'm not sure if the roleplay of it would be sensible, but just to paint a picture of what it would look like,
Yeah,
what he's trying to
fine.
do is he wants to ask them like how often do they visit cities? Like do they consider themselves to be part of this whole politics world, or were they just, I don't know, sent a message and they came from their mountain, or well, in this case probably like sea lair or whatever. And also whether or not they would consider themselves domesticated.
Ah.
It is a very loaded question.
For these two in particular, they do not typically ploy with mortals very often, unlike their sibling. They have remained far more insular in their own little realm, as it were. And they would. The domesticated question would be a very odd one and almost insulting to them. They definitely do not think of themselves as domesticated by any means.
It all becomes a philosophical question of where the line is, right? You speak, you write, you enjoy certain privileges from being able to do that, and of course requirements. You have apparently a favor or something along those lines to pay back for your sibling, hence why you're here with us. So, I mean, where does it start?
One of them seems completely bored by that as a question. The other one seems rather interested in debating that philosophy with you.
I'm not debating the philosophy. I'm looking for an actual answer, you see.
Is there an easy answer on that? Is a good question.
I feel like these questions tells us a lot about Isaac.
It does. Azura,
He's speaking of himself, isn't he?
as Azura's kind of moves their head around to kind of get up close. Where it starts and where it ends is an interesting question. We live by our own power. Sure, we've inherited the knowledge of civilization. We live on our own terms. We do not live in a way that we are dictated to live. We command ourselves, creating our own homes away from this. We are here only because family and tradition dictates so.
There's another of those words, tradition. It's not a thing for most creatures.
Perhaps, but you do see social cues even among animals.
Cues, certainly, but those are purely functional. I suppose they're not.
In what way is ours not functional as well? It was for survival that these came to be born.
Suppose.
When a broodmate calls, it is what we answer. And in turn, they answer us.
thank you for your answer, even though it's not very useful to me.
You're a strange mortal, you know that.
I've been called much worse.
I did not mean it as an insult. Simply that you doesn't feel like you belong either.
Question is more whether I want to belong. That's what I'm trying to decide. Well, that's what I fear I might decide at some point. Because being in between is sort of liberating as well. But I'm not sure that's feasible forever.
In the end, the line between it very much falls to you.
I'm known for making awful decisions, so that sounds equally awful. Well, thank you for your advice, I suppose.
It's
Answers.
only a shame that you cannot breathe in the depths. Perhaps you could try living among some of our wavekin.
Tried that once. Doesn't really work well. This whole breathing underwater thing, some of the forms I've tried can do it pretty well, but I can't sustain them for long enough.
It's an interesting thought, is it not? To see what it would be like to experience the life as something very different from what you're used to.
Yes, I think the strange perspectives are especially helpful in understanding the limitations of my, I suppose, original perspective. Certainly trying.
Consult with us at another point. Maybe there's something we can assist with.
It would be much appreciated, even though I'm not sure what you're alluding to.
The other dragon is completely bored, but Azurus appears to be rather amused by you in particular. Unlike Amanus, who she was kind of frustrated at the pride of, seemingly more curious about kind of very much you're on the other end of that spectrum.
No pride at all.
You're comparing yourself to the beasts in a sense. So
Ooh. Yeah, I suppose they will maybe make a few more words of small talk, but eventually leave them to their own devices again.
they have found a small lake in the up in the forest, seemingly content enough that there's a place that they can wallow in comfortably. Older than they'd like, but well, they manage. With that though, this is a option unlocked for all of you here, as you may go with their plan of attempting to, well, bless the lake.
Probably that is so absurd that I'm all for it.
I feel like holy water really loses its significance if you just bless a complete body of water.
Well, It is an audacious plan.
Such a blessing, Isaac will immediately understand, would certainly not be creating long-term permanent holy water by any means. It doesn't need to be permanent holy water in this case.
Indeed, just need to be long enough.
Just long enough to poison all the things trying to drink from it.
Yes, exactly.
It would be an expensive ritual, but it's a doable one in theory if you can somehow source enough silver.
Well, we have dwarven contacts, and the Duchess friend is a Duchess of Silver Swift, so I assume she has a lot.
She has multiple silver mines in her domain, hence the title.
Yes. I'm sure a lucrative agreement with friend prices can be arranged.
Yeah. So that's an option. Otherwise, you can go for a more manual land assault on one of the other locations. It's up to the group to what you would like to do.
I like the poisoning the river approach. That seems fun.
I'm fine with either one already.
Though I do have to warn CL, do not fall in the holy water lake.
Yeah.
CL really okay with basically turning the sea into her personal lava.
As long as I don't touch it.
Then I think we're doing it. Draw up the necessary things we need to do, and put a plan forward.
Very well then. That can be what your characters will prepare for over a hand wave time skip to next session.
Yes, I will also do a retraining of Amanas, remove the Fate's arrow from him, and take something else. But I need to look at the list again what we have available.
That's fine. All of you effectively have a week's worth of downtime you can spend to do whatever you like. You can message me whatever that's going to be.
Yes.
Since I'm most likely away next session, Cielo is just gonna do administration about those licenses. So
Oh yes, you said you're not going to be here, right?
yeah, most likely. Yeah.
You know, maybe it's appropriate that CL does not want to go near the Lake of Holy Water.
Yes, and the administration is a lot of work now because new licenses.
Yes, so many licenses. Needs to be stamps and signatures.
But very well. Next time, then, you'll attempt to take Severin Tower and, in theory, conduct a ritual there.
All right.
If anyone has religion skill, it will be important. Important.
Yeah, we are historically great at religion, I believe.
Yeah, I believe it is our worst skill collectively. Amanas is trained.
I would
Cielo
believe.
is trained.
Yeah, I'm trained too.
I can improvise.
The highest is trained in the group.
Yes.
With Amanus, you are the best skilled.
Yeah. Is there? Can we bring someone from the council? Maybe our council cleric can actually. Brother Thane might need to come along here.
Brother Thane is always an automatic option you can definitely bring along.
Do we have enough people of the church to bring along here, or do we need to actually make this a more ecumenical thing to bring in shamans and fire
It's up
wielders?
to you the approach you want to take. You have a handful of priests that you can bring along.
Well, I mean, if we have enough from the church, then I would prefer that. But if we don't have enough power using only our own clerics, then we might need to enlist the shamans and the
It
fire
theoretically
worshippers.
is possible using only your own priests throughout the realms you now have. Largely because you now have access to the bishopry of Auron now.
Oh yeah, we do have the cider place.
Yes, and as a result, you can call forth your new priest from down there to assist.
Yes. All right, Brother Thane Your mission is to go down there and bring the bishop up.
Bring Father Landform up.
Yes, the father needs to come here. There is the grandest undertaking he's ever heard of.
Previously Inquisitor, now to try and bless a holy.
Yep. Bring priests quickly.
Yeah, it can be attempted with your only priests of your faith. It's up to you. You could try doing it with only the Scaldi. There's multiple routes.
I prefer to use the official church because now that we have the bishopry, we have Brother Thane. It's time to employ him. He hasn't done too much. Need to show our respect to the the most common faith we have on our lands, after all.
Very well. You can put the arrangements in place.
Great.
Also, during this month, though you are not required to full attend for this, and we will not be going through the full scene as we did last time, this month also has the Silver Moon Ball happening separately elsewhere.
Right.
Would you like to send any envoys to that, or from Haldamir's point of view, during what downtime Sarah says she could go to the Silver Moon Ball? It's on the table for people.
Would Ceres need
Same
to
as
do
anyone can technically go if they want to spend their downtime doing that, but
Would Ceres need to do any research on the wings for them to be crafted, or are we just waiting on it?
no, you just merely need
Okay,
a person capable of attaching them.
then yeah, Ceres.
So your downtime party.
Diplomatic
Yeah, I mean, my
liaison.
downtime was trying to find that person, right?
I mean, yeah, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine by me. I
You're
thought
asking the
very
spy month
just-
to find criminals? Excellent.
Yeah, easy. Surely.
It's so I can have cool
I mean, this is
wings.
literally in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Imagine it, because me with wings.
Terrible idea. It's a terrible idea.
I just
Magical.
have images of it being like back to front or upside down, so when you fly, you smash into the ground.
I mean, I imagine she's good. He's good. They very professional. Because we'll pay them. And
We'll
by
see.
we, I mean I.
Good.
I have
Out of curiosity, where are you storing your crate full of wings?
in the most secure part of the Mage's Tower. Think of.
Okay, so the top floors of the Mage Tower then.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And it gets gradually harder and harder to get to the higher up you go because it's just layer after layer of ward.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the diplomat section is secure, but trust magic.
Understood. In which case, we will end the session here, as I know it is like, what, 11:30 for a lot of you?
Yep.
And we will pick up next time then, skipping forward several weeks, to, well, you're attempting to attempting to clear out whatever's there in the tower and then perform the ritual.
Yes.
How can this go wrong?
I have no idea.
I mean, it's going to depend a lot on the skill check at the end, to be honest, but we'll see.
Do it. Hopefully, Brother Thane is better than trained.
Yeah.
And the bishop as well would be probably better than trained. So I'm hoping.
Brother Frayne would be expert, the bishop would be master in religion.
Yeah, the two of them can suss it out.
Members of the party, however, may still be requested to help with the ritual in other ways.
Oh, sure.
I have my trained. I can help.
You are capable of being a secondary caster.
Yahoo!
After all, you channel the divine too.
True.
But you don't actually have to be divine to assist in the ritual. So
True.
Do occult shenanigans.
It is how rituals
Okay.
work in
yes, you
Pathfinder.
technically don't even need to be a caster officially to assist in a ritual.
Mm-hmm.
One merely needs to succeed at the skill checks and devote your time.
I will.
All right.
I will speak to all of